Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/spookshow. Then go over to morbidlybeautiful.com as we are now part of the Morbidly Beautiful Podcasting Network.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! You're too! You're too! You're too!
Everybody here dies by dawn. Dead by dawn!
Welcome to the Spookshow. Hello and welcome to the All-American Spookshow podcast. I'm Josh and I'm joined here with Tiana.
Hi.
And the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And even though we're still, 2 days away from October, fuck it. It's October now. We're just doing it. Fuck it. We're going full spooky season. We're going all Halloween. And tonight we're talking about Tales of Halloween from 2015. Now, Tiana, you nominated this. It turns out it was like we put it out for vote. There ended up being a damn tie, so we had to do a wheel spin. So it was a whole thing to come to this conclusion of what we're watching here. So I'm going to assume you've seen this one before tonight's talk.
Yeah, I usually try to watch it almost every year, or at least every other.
And I assume that means, Smoke, we've watched it at least once because of her, right? At least once before.
Oh, yeah, this is probably at least the
Yeah.
second time, because I might not have seen, maybe I was at work or something when she watched some of the other Halloween. I know I haven't seen it every year since it came out. Like, John's seen it more times than I have, but I've seen it at least twice now.
Yeah, and this is a first time watch for me. So this will be interesting. What's that?
I said, I can't believe that.
I remember it kind of seemed like, but if I think all the way back to the very beginning, Smoke, the first episode we ever did was Reanimator, but I think the second episode we did was Trick or Treat. Right?
Yeah.
And that was another one that had escaped me up until that point. Like,
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
it's not like I purposely try to duck these things because I love a good anthology flick. It just happens that way. But I remember when this one came out, it looked kind of cheap to me. Now, as I watch it now, it's like it didn't feel that way. But at the time, it felt like this seems kind of cheap ass.
Yeah.
So I just kind of,
Especially the cover art to it.
yeah. Maybe that's where it fell short. Like they didn't market it.
I mean, and if you
right.
break it down, like, I don't know what the budgets are. I don't know if you had that information or what it is in relation to, like, say, Trick or Treat, but they may have had a little bit more of a budget for Trick or Treat. I mean, like, some of the cinematography and lighting was maybe, you could say that's maybe it's a little bit cheaper in the budget than Trick or Treat, but not too much.
It has a little bit more of an indie feel to it. Than Trick or Treat did.
Yeah, Trick or Treat has one of those, I don't know what you call it, an indie / in between a big budget and an indie films. Because, I mean, I don't know what the budget on Trick or Treat was, but
I don't have that budget in front of me, but I would imagine it was bigger than this one. I don't have the budget for this one either, but because I don't see that in our usual information. But yeah, because remember that one was Bryan Singer and everything, and he's coming off X-Men.
Yeah, it had some bigger names attached to it.
Yeah,
even though it was an independent film, technically it was bigger names and bigger money probably.
And the funny one about that one, because just last week we did the Rocky Horror Picture Show and we talked about how that's a cult movie. I think Trick or Treat is that way too, because it was not successful at all.
No.
And then it took on a life. Yeah. Now that little goober Sam. Yeah. Now that's a whole thing.
All over. He's attached to Spirit Halloween now.
Yeah.
I even have a picture. Oh, go ahead.
And they're actually showing it in the theater for the 20th anniversary. I cannot believe it's 20 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to say, I even have a picture that will kind of, it'll certainly last in digital format on Facebook for posterity's sake for a while now, and it keeps popping up my memories every year, is Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, at a convention that we were at, where somebody was dressed as Sam. It was a kid dressed as Sam, and then we're just walking through the convention floor, and so was, I guess, Paul Rubens and the Sam guy, the kid in the costume, and then, Paul Rubens sees the kid, and he's like, he does a complete, I had my camera out, and I just pulled it up real quick, and Paul Rubens is bent over doing a complete Pee Wee Herman type expression towards Sam, the kid dressed as Sam, and in the background, when he bent over, there's Jason. Somebody's dressed as Jason Voorhees revealed in the background, and I'm sure you've seen that picture, John. I always share it every time it pops up in my Facebook memory.
That's perfect. Perfect framing, perfect timing, right place, right time, all that. Yeah, but I'd never seen this one, so like I was, we'll get into whether this was good, bad, or indifferent. As far as my, the first take for me on it, Yeah, I guess before we dive into it, though, we want to throw out that we want you to visit aaspookshow.com. That's from there you can go to our YouTube channel, which every month, just about every week, we have a new series that pops up over there, including Grindhouse Gutter, including Video Vortex, and also including Hammer, Horror, and Order. So, those are lots of fun, and we do those every month. And of course, new episodes of The Spook Show are uploaded there and wherever you get your podcast every Monday at 6 p.m. East. So you don't want to miss those. And if you want to get them early, become a patron of The Spook Show by going to patreon.com/spookshow. You get the episodes early. We got tons of bonus content over there. We're always looking to do some extra stuff over there at some point. So once we kind of get our ducks in a row here, we'll have some extra cool stuff for you to get on our Patreon. So yeah, there you go. Tales of Halloween. This one, ironically, Tiana, you mentioned the 20th anniversary of Trick or Treat, right? Well, we're very close to the 10th anniversary of this movie.
Okay.
This was released October 16th, 2015 in North America. I don't think this ever got like a full on. I didn't do much homework on that, like as far as the release of this. I don't know if it ever got like a wide release or anything like that. I think at best it was a limited release. It made the festival circuit.
Yeah.
All through, basically starting from July all the way to October of 2015. And then it did get some type of release there on October 16th, 2015.
Yeah.
So, and then it came out on DVD, I believe, sometime the next year. It's kind of uncertain.
Spring, I think.
Yeah,
summer, spring.
But the only date I see here is like February of 2016, but that's kind of, I can't peg whether that's the United States or not. But yeah, either way, that's probably about when it came out. And I'm assuming it must have been on one of the streamers or something too at the time.
Yeah, I think that's how we watched it.
Yeah. So
yeah. On streaming services,
and that's probably why I kind of ignored it. Maybe for myself at the time, kind of like, that looked kind of cheap ass, moving on. But I do enjoy usually a good anthology movie. So like, if I'd have looked a little bit more into it, I probably would have watched it sooner than this. But yeah, almost 10 years.
There's a lot of people in this film.
Yeah,
not big names, but there's a lot of directors and
a lot,
including somebody from the last episode we did, right? From the last regular podcast episode we did.
Yeah, as I was watching that, like Barry Bostwick, I'm like, what? Like, I don't think we've ever watched anything with Barry Bostwick in it. And then, not that I recall right away.
I don't recall it. Yeah,
there might be something. I mean, if Donnie were here, he might be able to point us in that direction. But I don't remember anything. But damn if it wasn't him in one of the shorts in this movie. I was like, what?
Basically, we did two. We hadn't done any Barry Bostwick movies, and all of a sudden we did two in a row.
2 in a row. What the hell? What are the odds of that?
And if you haven't seen that episode, it was the last one. It was what Rocky Horror Picture Show.
that
we're talking about.
Serendipity. Believe me, we never plan. We've talked about this 1,000 times. We never plan anything like that. So things just happen by accident. I did plan the Rocky Horror Picture Show thing because I saw that the 50th was coming up. So I did say like, all right, well, we should say something about that since it's been 50 years, but didn't think about this one having its 10th anniversary. Didn't know anything about Barry Bostwick. So we just walk into shit a lot of times.
Well, plus, like you said, this was just a pick that was put out there for people to vote on. Then they voted on it. Then it tied. Then it was a wheel spin, and it won.
Yeah,
and that's how we ended up with two Barry Bostwick movies.
I will say, Tiana, for your part, you nominated it and it won. But like, I was kind of surprised that because we can lift the curtain now back. I nominated Rob Zombie's Halloween, and nope.
A lot of people don't like that.
I thought that was going to be the winner. Honestly, I was like, Josh picked the Halloween. That's gonna. Well, we already know what's going to win that one.
It didn't. I was kind of surprised by that, but that's why we do it, right? You never know.
Oh.
And I haven't seen that movie. I mean, obviously, I seen it I saw it when it came out in the theaters, and I might have seen it like on DVD or Blu-ray or something years later. But
I'm kind of in the same boat with that.
But it's been a long time. I have not seen that movie.
I've never seen Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I've never even seen it.
Oh, I did. I saw that in the theater, and that one is
disappointment.
That's why I haven't seen it. Once again, how long's that been now? How long's that?
I don't know. A long time now.
Hold on. Wait, now I got to look it up because that one came out in 2007.
The sequel came out?
No, the first one.
Oh, the first one. Yeah.
That's why I was trying to look. When did Halloween?
Not that long after, I'm pretty sure.
2. Halloween 2 came out 2009. So I have not seen that movie since 2009 because I watched it one time and that's it. And I remember, not to go off on a Halloween tangent, but since it didn't win, let's take a moment here. I remember the one thing that I remember about both those movies being like it went too far into who Michael Myers was.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't like about it.
Well, that's why, Tiana, you like that aspect of the first one at least,
brutal.
right?
It is so brutal.
It is.
That they were making sure that I remember going to the movie theater to see it. They had people standing outside to make sure there was no kids seeing this. I don't even think they were letting kids in, even with an adult.
Well, maybe
at my theater.
It wouldn't surprise me, and I do remember that a lot of that, and especially in that first one. There's probably some in the second. I've only seen it once, so and it's been a long time. But I just remember like you take the you told me what the boogeyman was. He's not as scary.
Yeah. That's the route I took with it too. I personally don't care for the,
sometimes you don't need
background on Michael Myers.
Yeah, I don't need to know all this shit. Just know that like when he was a kid, he stabbed his sister.
Killed his sister
for no apparent reason. That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
And then he's in a mental. He's mental for the rest of the time until he gets out, escapes, and is a psychopathic murderer. So but basically, it's an allusion to the boogeyman, right? He's just supposed to be the metaphorical boogeyman. But I mean, I guess you can see where Rob Zombie would want to take it somewhere else. I guess
it got even. From what I remember, it got even weirder. There was something about his mom, his relationship with his mom, or some shit. And I just remember that song, "Nights in White Satin." I remember that playing. I just remember there being some weirdness. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That's the second one, I think.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's something. That's all I remember.
You had the white dress on with the white horse.
And they kept playing that "Nights in White Satin."
Because in the beginning,
I
remember he was trying to copy exactly the second one where it was in the hospital.
Yeah,
then it ends up being completely different than that.
I didn't like it.
He tried doing Art House, and it just didn't work.
No.
Did he go down? Now, did he have any reference to Samhain? Or, some people might pronounce it Sam Hain. Like in the second movie, the word Sam Hain was written on the chalkboard in the school, and there was this little thing about that. But he could have taken that in a direction because of the occult aspect of
That I recall, but I literally have not seen that movie in 16 years. I just remember the horse thing and the song and his mom, and that's all. And I was like, no. And I love a lot of Rob Zombie stuff, but, Anyways, this has been the Rob Zombie Minute here on the Tales of Halloween episode. Getting back to this one. This one is interesting. Well, obviously, it's very rated R. I will say that. Yeah. There's a lot of gore. We'll get into that here in a second. There's some more I want to say about it, but I don't want to go too far into it. IMDb listed as, it's got a lot of labels, and I can believe most of these. Adventure, comedy, fantasy, horror, and thriller. So it's a little bit of all that.
Yeah, each segment's like its own little thing.
Yeah.
Most of it is kind of comedy, though. But
yeah. Some more than others. Yeah. But I can appreciate.
Although when you said adventure, I'm not. Where's that one? I'm trying to place the adventure segment. I don't know about that one, but
I don't know. You could even go sci-fi, right?
Oh yeah, well, with this, because there's we'll get to that part, but there is an alien involved.
Yeah. You could even slap. I could see it labeling sci-fi more than I could adventure.
Yeah, adventure.
Except maybe that one segment with the kid that's getting taken around as with Satan or whatever. The Barry Bostwick one. The Barry
Bostwick segment.
Yeah. Maybe that's an adventure. Hell, I don't know. What do I know?
That's an adventure, all right.
Yeah. Well. Total runtime of 1 hour and 37 minutes. It was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, Axel Carolyn, Adam Gurich. It's an anthology, so it's got a number of, and all those are also, Axel Carolyn, Dave Parker, and Clint Sears are, listed as writers. It stars Adrienne Barbeau, which I thought that was a nice touch.
Oh yeah.
Adrienne Barbeau is the narrator, right? I think they label her as like what do they call
a radio person,
radio DJ or something? Yeah, the radio DJ. But yeah, remember
The Fog.
Yeah, I was wanting to say
Well,
Creepshow, but that's not right. She's in Creepshow, but that's not what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
well, there's
Fog.
the tie in the Creep Show with it being an anthology horror
Yeah,
movie.
that's what I was
There's that
thinking.
little tie-in too.
That was what I was thinking, but no, that's not what she was. She was the radio DJ in The Fog.
Yeah.
Well, she had like a thing where she was in a lot of John Carpenter type stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, The
she
Fog.
was.
And,
I can't remember exactly all of them right now, but I mean, she was in more than a few John Carpenter's films.
Creepshow. Goddamn, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Now I'm blanking. Anyways, yeah, there was something with John Carpenter. Yeah. Lots of cameos and lots of small, like you said, Tiana, not like huge names, but very recognizable faces, character actors, stuff like that, right? Like we mentioned,
and directors too.
Barry Bostwick.
Mm-hmm.
God, what was John
Rose?
John Landis, right? Wasn't that him?
Oh yeah.
And Joe Dante.
Yep. Joe Dante, and then the guy that did Twilight Zone, the movie.
Yeah, that was
that was John Landis.
Yeah, that was John Landis. Yeah. Yeah, which that one's like.
Did you hear? Melissa Rose.
Gotta be a little careful with that one.
Oh, which one? With the
John Landis and the whole.
Oh, yeah, the whole
what's his
thing
face?
that went down.
The whole helicopter incident.
That's so sad.
Very. Let's tread lightly on that one. Tiffany Shepis, she's in there, small role.
Yes, Lynn Shay.
Yeah, Lynn Shay. Yeah, these are all
Rose.
Stuart Gordon.
Yeah, Stuart Gordon was in that segment with the
Lynn Shay.
Yeah. He was the Sherlock Holmes, dressed as Sherlock Holmes for Halloween.
Yeah, that one took me a minute too, because I'm like, damn it, that motherfucker, he looks so familiar. Who is that? And then like when I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, tons of that. So that was cool throughout the movie to just.
And you know who the main girl of that segment was, right?
I'm blanking. Who was it?
Well, she was. I forget what the heck that movie was that she first came out in the film, but she was the one that played in Doctor Strange. Wendy, the mother.
And Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Is that
they had a segment real quick of her, like, of him remembering.
No.
You know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she played. Yeah. Yeah, she played her.
I guess we can go ahead and get into the movie itself, because really it's not like now. Look, we'll get into our final thoughts and ratings and everything, but I will say if there's anything that I can say against that knocks it down a peg to me, is that it didn't have a good wraparound.
I know, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was just like, I mean, I guess all of this happens on the same night.
Yeah, that's the only wraparound element is that.
But it was just that was it. Like it wasn't, it was what's her name on the radio saying,
there was a few characters that showed up in some of the other segments, right?
Yeah, you see them.
The kids.
Yeah.
In the other parts, but
they should have woven that in there more, maybe.
Yeah, that was it.
If I got any knock, it's like they didn't.
Yeah,
it ties together, but it doesn't tie together like you would think.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mess.
Creepshow and Trick or Treat and a handful of others. That's what they've done well. Is that like they kind of. At the end, you're kind of like, oh shit, there's some kind of like, it does all connect. There's something,
in
this one,
VHS segments.
But in this one, it's kind of there, but it's not there. It just
Yeah.
kind of like you see the last story and then the credits. And I'm like, all right, well, that's good, but okay. Didn't expect that. Expected some kind of, maybe you go back to Adrienne Barbeau and see her get stabbed by somebody that was in, the alien guy or something. I don't know. There should be something, right? That would have wrapped it up, but whatever. That's, minor thing. The first.
You have the name of the segment? Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do. The first segment, because it's funny too, the way that's another thing I didn't like about this. You mentioned that in the opening credits. It's got Sweet Tooth, and then it gives you the information, and everything. But then when you go through the movie, they never show the title again.
Yeah, because I guess that's how they try to connect it all. But even though it ends up being a mess,
I mean, still, you would hope that. I mean, it's cool to put it in the beginning if you want to show the credits in the beginning of who did what or whatever. Cool, but then at least put it back in on the segment whenever that segment pops up. Somehow work it in.
It would take you 10 seconds of film time to just throw the title up there and then let's move on.
Yeah.
The first segment was called Sweet Tooth, and that was written and directed by Dave Parker. So that was, I think it's a pretty good little opener, right?
Yeah, I like that one.
Basically the story is a little boy, he gets to go out trick or treating, but he can't eat the candy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then because his parents want to have like a candy eating orgy.
Oh, did you notice who that was?
No.
Everybody does that for Halloween, right?
Mom,
Yeah.
that was Stretch from Texas Chainsaw 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Lots of nice little callbacks and deep cuts in this movie for
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, Smoke, you're right. Every Halloween, that's our tradition.
Yeah, to have the good old candy orgy.
Yeah, the candy, the Halloween trick or treat candy fueled orgies. Ah, yes. And that's basically about all the reasoning you get too, because like go to bed, you'll be fat, and then they just like want to play around and eat the candy.
Yeah, because some of the story they're like kind of cool stories, the gore and the things that happen, but some of them don't always kick off with a plausible scenario right now. Like that, nobody's done that. Nobody.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Well, somebody could go, oh yeah, well remember that story of so and so, but mostly nobody has ever stolen all their kids' candy so they could have a Halloween sex orgy with the candy afterwards. I'm pretty sure, but it makes for a cool story.
I just remembered another anthology. I just remembered another anthology that we watched because Art the Clown. Remember All Hallows Eve? And as silly as that one kind of is, it's a little disjointed. At least it did have a wraparound.
Yeah, and Art was the wraparound.
That was a good wraparound. That was really good.
Yeah, but it's just that pesky story in the middle that got in the way of that one. Yeah.
Speaking of aliens.
Yeah, like what the fuck was that? And then it's just, let's move on to...
Although you got to say it is memorable. It sticks in your head for the wrong reasons.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's like the old saying of there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
Just wait for the next Terrifier movie. I think he plays a role again. No.
Yeah.
Terrifier 4.
The next segment was The Night Billy Raised Hell, with written by Clint Sears and directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. Now that's the one. Okay, no, that's not the Barry Bostwick one, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. That's the Barry Bostwick one. So basically,
I like this one too. This one's fun.
The whole premise of that one is trick or treaters. They try to do a trick on a house, and I'm assuming Barry Bostwick is Satan. What the hell is he?
Yes, so he's got horns.
They just rolled up to the devil's house and they tried to prank him, and then like he's like he brings him into the kid into the house, and he's like, I'm going to show you a prank, and then he goes around and just like starts killing people and maiming people,
shooting,
stealing
cars, starting fires,
and then the twist in the end. By the way, we should say this is a spoiler-filled podcast, so if we are going to spoil the hell out of it for you. The twist in the end is like this little boy that's been with him the whole time. It wasn't him. It was like some little troll or some shit dressed like him. And now his name is Mud because he's just went around town raising hell. So then he sends the boy out the front door and the cops are there to arrest him. That's a hell of a prank, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good title for it too. The Night Billy Raised Hell. See, they really missed an opportunity with like cool creep show comic booky title cards and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like even if you just leaned into the Halloween theme and did Halloweeny spooky title cards.
Like 50s and 40s type of
like they
Halloween art stuff that kind of goes into like the real live action thing.
I really think they missed an opportunity with that. Where my confusion was just looking at the titles of these is trying to remember which ones they are, because the next one is called Trick. So I was thinking that was that one. And that one was written by Greg Commons and directed by Adam Garash. These two back to back. I'll just say the name of the next one. It was The Weak and the Wicked. That one was written by Molly Millions. That's the name. And directed by Paul Salette. These back to back were kind of fucking weird to me. Like, I didn't really like them that much. Really fucking weird. I mean, other than like, okay, it's kind of cool and different, I guess, to see a bunch of kids going on a rampage and killing people. But there was a reason for that, right?
Yeah. That was.
But maybe I looked to the left for a minute and then looked back or something. Did I miss something there? Like where did that? It took a leap. It went from like these kids busting in on these people and terrorizing them, killing them, to all of a sudden now there's a kid strapped to a table with one of her eyes pulled out, and
I guess you didn't see where she was trying to delete the pictures off her phone.
I did see that, but I was like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and then,
I feel like something was edited funny in that segment.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, because like it felt disjointed, or felt off. It went from like, this is the kind of movie we're watching where these kids are terrorizing these people for seemingly no reason, but there's got to be a reason. So all of a sudden, here's the reason, and it just kind of, they kind of spill it out like here it is. And then before you know it, it's over. They kind of take their revenge. Axe to the head. There's a couple of axes to the heads in this one, right?
Yeah.
I think even just up to that point in the movie, there's a couple good axes to the head.
It's intermission, it's intermission. It's intermission, it's intermission. Ice cream, candy, lemonade too. And there's a hot dog waiting for you.
The popcorn's popping and it's ready to go. You know all the great food is stealing the show.
Get up out your seat and get yourself a tasty treat down at the snack bar. Snack bar.
But the next one is The Weak and the Wicked. This is the one that kind of, I think between this one and maybe it was, I'm looking at the titles of these things now. Okay, so The Weak and the Wicked. Then there was Grim Grinning Ghost, written and directed by Axel Carolyn. Then there was Ding Dong, written and directed by Lucky McKee.
Yeah. It was Lucky McKee.
Because the girl in there is from...
Yeah, she's from The Woman.
Lucky McKee movie called The Woman.
McKee. And he's from The Guy. But anyway, I don't want to jump ahead to that part yet. The next one was the Wicked one?
The Weak and the Wicked.
That was the, like, Western kind of... What was that one?
Yeah, I'm just looking at a synopsis here to try to remember which one this is. Alice, she's a pyromaniac. Oh, yeah. This is the one where, like, it's like that girl that's a pyromaniac with her two friends or whatever, and then they killed, I guess, this guy's dad years ago, and now he's like, he has summoned some demon to get revenge on them. That
one's probably my least favorite.
Yeah, well, I don't know that, because to me, once again, subjective, right? We'll get to my least favorite one, but the next one was Grim Grinning Ghost.
That is I think that one's the scariest one.
That's the one. Let me see. I'm just trying to remember which one. Lynn attends her mother's Halloween party. She listens as her mother recounts the story of Mary Bailey, a girl who was mocked all her life for being disfigured. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one was creepy.
Yeah, that one was fucking weird. Yeah, probably the one that had the least amount of comedy in it. I said it's probably one of the ones that had the least amount of comedy in it.
Yes,
because a lot of them really did, including the next one, Ding Dong. That's the Lucky McKee. All right, that one I think is my least favorite.
Really?
Because it's fucking weird.
It's not weird. It's that she's like a woman. I mean, she's a woman, but she's like an abuser, and she's, been mean to her husband or whoever.
Well, she's a witch or a demon or something, right?
But they were trying to, they were trying to associate with her with the witch from,
Hansel and Gretel, right?
Yes. They were just trying to associate with that.
I don't know.
And then she was like,
there were certain aspects of it.
She could never have kids, and then it came out. Why?
Yeah. Well, there were certain aspects of it that I liked, but I don't know. It just jumped around. It was kind of weird to me. Just the way it was laid out. It was, I don't know.
That's when she, like, there's all the kids coming up doing the trick or treat, and that's when you see a lot of the kids that killed those adults from earlier.
Yeah, that was.
And then you see the one little kid that you end up seeing later.
That's where I thought they were gonna. I mean, they did tie things together. That's one of those parts where there's things like you said, you see it later kind of thing. But that one's where I thought you would have more of a tie together than you eventually did. The next one is called This Means War. That was written and directed by Andrew Cash and John Skip. That one was pretty good. Where like basically this guy decorates his yard the same way for like 20 years or whatever, and then these other dudes come in with their more gory
Yeah.
Halloween yard or
Rock
whatever.
music and
Right.
craziness.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw something where it was comparing that. It's sort of like I guess a metaphor between like traditional 30s and 40s horror versus 80s horror when it came. So
Yeah.
you have that
Yeah.
dichotomy there, I guess,
Yeah,
between the
80s,
two.
80s and 90s. Well, I guess mostly 80s kind of
Yeah.
rolls in with its rock and roll gore and everything, and
Yeah, slasher splatter type
yeah,
stuff, and then
fuck
traditional elements of
Frankenstein and the
supernatural.
creature from the Black Lagoon and all that shit.
Yeah. But I'm like, why not both? I love both. I always loved both. I wasn't ever one of those like when 80s came along, like, oh fuck all that old shit.
Yeah, no.
So I don't really get that. I don't.
Yeah.
That doesn't. I like that segment, but it doesn't like fit me.
I would
as far as,
imagine
like,
that's probably more of a newer generation thing where like
might be.
they're not going to watch that old
Yeah.
the old stuff, and which
But,
is funny.
yeah,
Which is funny considering what we're going to be talking about next week, and we'll get to that. Stick around for a tease, friends.
the guy with the long hair, that he's from Donnie Darko. He was Frank the Bunny.
I have never seen Donnie Darko. I never have. I
He's
know
from also the movie May that I don't think you saw yet either, right?
no.
May.
Mm-mm. So I'm completely unfamiliar with this guy. But yeah, no, I remember I've heard a lot about Donnie Darko, and it's one I know we will get to. We'll have to get to it now, but like, yeah, just
Cold corner, like sure,
yeah, at some point.
yeah.
Never have though. The next one is this one is just like off the rails. Friday the 31st, written, which is an awesome title. Written by Mike Mendez and Dave Parker, directed by Mike Mendez. This one is essentially Jason Voorhees with an alien,
Yes.
right? I mean, that's essentially what it is.
And it reminds me of like Evil Dead.
Oh, dude, Sam
That's
Raimi is all
definitely
over this.
This is definitely the goriest segment. Lots of fun though.
Yeah, lots of definitely. It might be arguably the most humorous and the most gory.
Oh, it's the one. It's probably the one that had me laughing the most for sure.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff, like, as stupid as it is and over the top. I don't know how you want to classify it, but that's the kind of shit I love signing up for. Like, I can watch stuff like that. I can watch that all day.
It also has a little bit of a what do you call it, like a body snatcher type thing to it, because that's what kind of happens, alien body snatcher stuff.
I love like that claymation and little whatever the fuck is going on with the alien too, where the Jason basically squashes it and then it just kind of goes into the girl's mouth and then
And then she's like,
yeah,
like floating people dead.
She's doing the float on the track. Like that, like that witch or whatever from House on Haunted Hill, I believe it was. The
old
one.
With the toes dragging the floor,
and
the ground, or whatever.
And it's on the wheel track and just floats away. She's got that same thing, but yeah, Sam Raimi's all over that one, man. Mike Mendez and Dave Parker owe a lot to that segment.
Oh, to the part like you just alluded to with the demon witch as she's floating, and then the Jason character sees that and he's like, ah!
Yeah.
He's running from her.
yeah.
After he had just killed her or whatever.
The segment right after that one is called The Ransom of Rusty Rex.
Oh, this is my favorite.
Written and directed by Ryan Schifrin. Yeah, that one was interesting.
Hilarious.
Yeah. No question about that. I'm completely blanking on what the end of that one was. I was trying to read the thing how it ended up. Oh, is the kid that like basically is like a little,
ends up being a goblin.
Okay. I was trying to remember how it ended. Yeah, that one is
try
funny.
to kidnap him with ransom, or they think they're going to get ransom, and the guy's like, "Yeah, you don't know what you've done."
And that's
Goodbye.
that's the John Landis thing, right? Like that's
yeah.
He's the father.
He's the
whatever.
Well, whatever.
Not father, but
yeah,
the recipient, the prior recipient of the.
So basically, he found a sucker and just like, well, it's your problem now. Bye.
Yeah.
And it
And then they
it
try
ends
to
with
throw them in the bog.
yeah, they try various ways to get rid of them, and no luck. And then it eventually ends with him eating one of them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the head.
Yeah. Because he said something when they had him on the phone. He's like, "Make sure you feed him, otherwise he'll eat you." Basically, yeah. So yeah, that's what ends up happening. So that one was good. And then the final segment is called "Bad Seed," written and directed by Neil Marshall. Now, whatever budget they had, this had to have been the part where they spent most of it, right?
Yeah. And Neil Marshall, I think he might have directed Dog Soldiers. I'll look it up while we're talking about
He
it.
did.
He did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and The Descent.
And The Descent. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I love the pumpkin itself. Very well done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the pumpkin effects are cool on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where this one is basically like a pumpkin that goes around eating people. So it's just like a monster pumpkin, right? And the dude carves it and it eats people. That's essentially what the story is. But it kind of ends like they destroy the pumpkin and then they go to someplace. I don't even know where the hell they went. Some warehouse, factory, whatever.
That's where that's where Joe Dante is. Joe Dante is making all these super pumpkins.
That part reminded me of Halloween 3. Whenever they go to the factory and they all the masks and stuff on the conveyor belts and things and whatnot, or whatever.
Yeah, and it pulls back and you get the over the shoulder shot of and then there's thousands of pumpkins. You're like, oh no. Yeah. But then credits. So that's where I was kind of like, all right, well, that was kind of a weird ending.
Yeah.
It's kind of fell flat a little bit.
Ends.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, there you go. Tales of Halloween. It's a lot of fun though. As weird as the you get a little bit of a setup with the credits and stuff because you get the general premise with Adrian Bourbeau's radio DJ of Halloween. Here we go. Here's some stories, but they don't do a good job, I don't think, of tying it all together and then bringing it home at the end. So
they just weren't able to.
They might have thought they might not have wanted to try. Well, if we do a comic book, it's kind of like we're copying Creepshow or that. But like you were saying, Josh, you get like that traditional Halloween. You could tie in some sort, maybe do a little bit of animation. I mean, it might look Creepshow a little bit, but you're not doing comic book. You're doing, they're walking down the street and here's this Halloween decorations of like old school 40s and 50s stuff, and then it swirls into live action. It ties together somehow that way. Some kind of gimmick that ties those things together. But like I said, they did have a little bit of connecting tissue, but just not much as you'd like to see.
Yeah.
Ended up having to be rushed for some reason.
Might have been that too. A little bit. I mean, there's a lot. How many segments? Was it 10 segments?
6? No.
How it was quite a bit. Hold on, let me count them real quick. I gotta let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10.
There's 10? Oh.
10 segments.
I was thinking something like that.
But I think that helps it though. It makes it nice and tight story wise. Like each individual story, they're only maybe about 8 to 10 minutes a piece, give or take.
Yeah. And some maybe a little bit. You don't even really think about it too much as far as after the fact, like how long was this one versus that one. So I don't even know what the longest segment was, or was it?
I don't have the break. I don't have the breakdown. Yeah, but I would imagine they're all about 8 to 12 minutes a piece.
Comparable in running times.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think any are vastly longer than the other or something like that. I think too, this is probably what you get in some ways when you have so many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
is that true. You kind of give give this writer director their story, this writer director their story, and now all of a sudden shit. Well, it's hard to bring together 10 different creative ideas into.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Especially, everybody's style is different too. As far as their, the way they shoot, their cinematography and editing, et cetera, et cetera.
It's not quite as crazy as say like the ABCs of Death.
I was just thinking of that.
But the ABCs of Death, they're all 2-3 minutes a piece. They're like the letter,
5 minutes, yeah.
The letter F for you're fucked or something, and then and then you just watch this 2 minutes of god awfulness, and then cut to the next letter. So that's a little different setup, but yeah. I think it's solid enough though. I would watch it again.
Yeah.
For me, I guess I'll go 2.5. I know that sounds a little low, but that's about right. It's not and that's just for the reasons that we were talking about. I'm not saying you got to be Creepshow or Trick or Treat or something like that, but there is kind of a formula to these things, so let's not go too far off the formula. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable, and there's some stuff there's plenty of gore, and it's funny. It's probably I like that kind of thing, like comedy horror, but it probably leans a little bit too much in some spots on the comedy, but it kind of makes up for that with gore, in the horror department. So yeah, I think it's a fair balance. A little bit more comedy than horror, but yeah. Yeah, 2.5. So Tiana, what do you say?
I enjoy it, and like I said, I usually try to watch it maybe at least every other, maybe not every Halloween, but I just really, really like a few of those segments.
Yeah. Oh, some of these
But
are
like
great.
you
Like not
said
all,
too, that
it's not like 10 for 10, but it's like
yeah,
it's 6 or 7 of them are really good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just the like you said too, the wraparound kind of makes it flat. So,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna give this one, especially because I like all the actors that are in it and stuff. And it's Halloween themed, so that right there. But I'm gonna give it a 3.
Smoke, what do you say?
Yeah, I enjoyed. I've only said maybe the second time I've seen it all the way through. And I like it for the same reasons y'all did, as far as the certain segments are maybe stronger than others, but I mean that you expect that from an anthology. You're not going to really get, even with Creepshow. There's certain segments you like much better than others, and
Yeah.
none of them are necessarily bad. In the Creepshow, and like this one, none of them are necessarily bad, but there are, with the budgetary limitation, of course, when you get that. But I mean I don't discounted that for, that's what it is. But it had some creative talent behind it, and in front of the camera, right? And it definitely does it does feel that Halloween vibe. If you want a movie that you have not seen this and you want one that's, scratch that Halloween itch around this time of year, this one will do that for you. And much in the same way as Trick or Treat, although I don't quite put it in the same league as Trick or Treat. And I'm talking about either Trick or Treat. Whether we talk about the heavy metal Trick or Treat or the Sam Trick or Treat.
True. I always forget about that one. Yeah.
Whatever. 7. Yeah. So yeah. Oh wait, maybe I'm off on that year.
I don't
I was
remember.
thinking Halloween. We were talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween, and that 2007 popped in my head. So whatever year that Trick or Treat was that had Sam in it.
2005.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's not quite in that league for me, but it is. It's fun and it's enjoyable. I think I'll probably go about with the same thing that Josh gave it. That's 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's more than fair. So that brings the grand total for all three of us to 2.6 out of 5 stars. So I think that's enough to say we recommend you check it out. Just know that it's look, I mean, like, it's hard to compare when you're talking about Creepshow, Trick or Treat, a few others that are just really well done anthology movies. Those are the creme de la creme. This ain't quite that,
Nah.
but it's still enjoyable. It's a notch below, but it's still enjoyable. It's better than All Hallows Eve. The only thing All Hallows Eve had going for it is that Art the Clown came out of it. As an anthology, this is better. This movie's better to me.
Yeah.
But this should be interesting. Our usual bits, the kill count.
So yeah, that I've gotten from could be 40, 50
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
easily.
There's quite a few each one, but the one that's the most is the Friday the 31st, of course. There's a lot of dead bodies all over the place.
Yeah, as far as individual ones, yeah, because there's just bodies laying everywhere, right? But
Yeah.
I don't remember how much of that you see. You see him doing it, right? Like you see him slashing
Some
a
of
bunch
them.
of people, and then the alien thing comes along. I don't remember. There's a lot of bodies there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't remember how that played out, but then the little alien thing, and then they just kind of fight each other,
Yeah.
right? That's Friday the 31st, right? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few of the segments had 5.
Yeah, I mean, and that one with the kids
it,
killing,
so-
and that's 3 or 4 people right there they took out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any number I could believe. It's pretty high.
Yeah.
This makes the highlight kill tough, though. Let's talk about the kill reel.
Highlight. Kill.
I'm just going to go with that final showdown in the Friday the 31st bit, because that was hilarious. And I really think
yeah.
like I really think like that'll be the segment that I remember from this
Yeah.
whole thing
yeah.
the most, because that alien thing is like, what the fuck is this? That's just weird. And then
There's all of a sudden it's in claymation. It's
yeah.
very jarring. It's
Yeah.
jarring because you don't. That's the only stop motion claymation, whatever you want to call it, CG version that they use. But I mean, I really didn't look into the practical effects version. I don't know if it's just CG meant to look like claymation or if it was actual stop motion claymation. But it looks like old school stop motion claymation.
Also, too, because of the gore factor in that and all, it's
And then this
great.
cutesy little alien.
Yeah, and then it has like
out left field.
Trick or treat. And then he just stomps his ass out, and then he comes back. I think that's how it ends, right? He comes back, and
yeah, and then he's like all like,
and then he grabs the head, like the severed head. He just takes it with him into a spaceship.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
That's his. Yeah.
So it might be a little bit of a cop out for that to be my highlight kill, but I just got to go like with something that's got so many different kills, and a lot of them are good, but it's just kind of like stacking bodies in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that I'll remember. So I got to go memorable here. I'm going to go with that little showdown they had, and then both of them get just chopped all to hell. They just get chopped to pieces. Blood squirting out. Probably the bloodiest segment in the thing too, right? Just pound for pound buckets.
Yeah.
Overall,
Maybe.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, the last segment, the pumpkin chops like chews the guy's head off.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. That's a good honorable mention, though. All right, Smoke, that leads us to you, though. Gore score. What do you got?
Gore score.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you couldn't already tell by what we've talked about prior, this movie it's a juicy one. It's very gory. So, and I don't know the last time we've had a really, really gory movie, but it also falls in that camp of like fun gore. You know, it's because of all the humorous aspects. It's not the mean spirited kind of gore. You know, so
I will say before you continue, I will say the last movie that you gave a 10 to was when we saw Final Destination Bloodlines.
Final Destination Bloodlines?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty gory.
Yeah, that's pretty gory. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I will go with and mainly, like I said, because of that Friday the 31st, almost every segment had a certain amount of gore in it, right? And some more than others. So it's fairly prolonged throughout. Little drops here and there, depending on what the storyline was. But I mean, hell, even going from right off the bat, the kid, I can't remember the name. Oh, Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
You know, where he's like eating the candy out of his
what the fuck?
intestines. So, I mean, yeah, it just starts off like that and just keeps going, right? And some segments being gorier than others. So I'm going to stop shy of calling it. I'm not going to give it a 10. Maybe not even. I think I'll go with an 8 or 9. Maybe a 8, I guess. So yeah, I think I'll go with 8 because it's way up there. It might not. It's not as prolonged or as intense, maybe even as the Bloodline. What was it, Bloodlines?
Yeah, Bloodlines.
Is that the name of the one? That last one I gave it 10 to? Because that just kept going and going, and of course, and those types of like Final Destinations can be a fun type of gore, or it can be oh shit, that's fucked up kind of gore.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten into the territory of like I Spit in Your Grave or Cannibal Holocaust, which is like the mean spirited, like really disturbing kind of fucked up.
Not in a while. Not since Terrifier 3 or Christmas Cruelty last year.
Yeah, they had like the disturbing kind of gore.
Oh god.
So yeah, this one's not quite up there or anything, so I'll go with an 8.
Yeah, that sounds fair enough. Well, there we go. I mentioned it or teased it briefly there, but next week, Smoke, it's your choice. And since we're in full-on October, by next week especially, obviously we're in the month of October. So we're in full-on spooky season and everything. We've been going with a Halloween theme. Kind of that's kind of been what we've been trying to go with, kind of basically starting with this one, but also, this episode today, but also the stuff that we're doing over on Grindhouse Gutter and Video Vortex. So with all that being said, I've set the table for you nicely. What Halloween theme type thing are we're going with next week?
Well, I got a vintage one, which for our intents and purposes, it's 1969 and before, basically. So basically all the way back to the beginning of film, right? Up to 1969, I believe it is. So I'm going to go with one I haven't seen before, and I don't think any of us have seen before. It's the Headless Horseman, but not anyone that probably most people on here haven't seen before, because we're talking about going all the way back to 1922 for the silent era Headless Horseman.
Remember, we had that one episode that I believe was 1922, if I remember.
We did have
correct.
some.
Where we just talked about, because it was 100 years of horror. That was the theme of the Spotlight episode. It was 100 years of horror, and I think it might have been 1922 that we focused on. Is that the same year Nosferatu came out?
Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 21 or 22.
Whatever year that was, whenever Nosferatu, 24. Okay, that was wait a minute, that was 1922. Yeah, 1922. So it must have been in 2022 when we did that. But so that's the only
years before,
So that's the only time we've touched silent film. We've never actually watched one and talked about it.
Mm-mm.
So
now we didn't watch it and talk about it. We may have discussed a little bit of the silent era. We did a history of horror sort of spotlight at some point back in the past, and I think we did touch on some silent era stuff then, but we didn't watch any.
Yeah, same thing with that particular episode where we talked about all the horror movies that came out in 1922. And
I think I might have mentioned this one. Or maybe it was a history of Halloween. I know we've done a spotlight on Halloween, and we've done a spotlight on so I might have touched on this when we were doing that deep dive into the history of Halloween, but we didn't watch any movies for that. It was just a spotlight on Halloween itself. So
yeah, it was one way or the other. We've probably mentioned it in passing, but even for that episode, I think we focused on Nosferatu, but all the other horror movies that came out that year. So we probably mentioned it, but we've never sat down and watched one and all right, here we go. So this is a first. This is a first in Spook Show history, a silent film. So
and why not start with one that really is I won't say it's unknown, but I'm sure there have been a lot more people that have seen Nosferatu or Cabinet of Dr. Caligari or any number of those more known ones than this one. I know I've never seen.
No, I've never seen this one. All I know, just from what we looked at briefly, was that it stars Will Rogers.
Yes, yeah.
The famous
and
cowboy.
Also that it was shot, which I'm interested in this. It was shot in the area where Washington Irving wrote about, the scenery of the story of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Yeah. It's that area of New York, upstate New York and stuff up there, and so it's. Yeah,
so we're not talking about Sleepy Hollow. I mean, we are, but we're not talking about Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. We're not talking about Disney's Ichabod Crane Sleepy Hollow, right? Which I think that's the one that I've watched 1 billion times in my life.
Oh yeah.
We're not talking about that. We're going way back here.
We're not even talking about the Jeff Goldblum TV movie from the 1970s or early 80s.
You could go all day. Like you just go to IMDb and type in Headless Horseman. And there's dozens.
There's quite a few.
There's a lot. So yeah, we'll see how this one places. This will be interesting. So come back next week for that, and we got lots of big stuff planned throughout the month of October, including we're going to be watching The Black Phone 2, I believe, when that comes out in theaters.
Yeah,
like that weekend, and then we've got, of course, the 7th anniversary of the Spook Show coming up on Halloween. So lots coming up. So we will talk to you next week.
Please replace the speaker on its rack when you're ready to leave. Failure to do so will damage both the speaker and your car. We'll be grateful, and so will the patrons who follow you.